Okay, so when we're dealing with radical equations, what we need to do is get rid of these radicals. All right, so we got a radical here, we got a radical here. Let's take a look at something really, really easy here. What if I had like the radical w, square root of w is equal to 2, okay? Well, how can I solve for w? Well, what you need to do is you have to get rid of this square root, so we have to square both sides, okay? So when we square a square root, we get rid of that square root or radical, and we're just left with w. So in this case, w would be equal to 4. So to get rid of these radicals, we're going to have to square them away, okay? To kind of use that terminology. So what we're going to want to do is this right here, the way this is written, we have a radical and minus another radical. That's not the best structure. What you want to do is get one radical over here, and then we'll put this other radical over on the other side, and then we're going to square both of these sides. Now when we do this, we're going to get rid of this radical here pretty easily because the square root of w plus 7 is simply w plus 7. So this is going to be taken care of nice and easy. We'll be able to get rid of that radical, that square root, but this guy over here on this side, this is where the real fun begins, and this is going to require us to take a couple of additional steps. As I said, it is a decent amount of work. Okay, so if you are studying radical equations and you're new at it, well, this is probably not the problem to start. Okay, this is a little bit more like medium level, a little bit more advanced. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. But now that you see the strategy, we'll can kind of get into the work of this now. Okay, so let's go ahead and square the square root of w plus 7 squared. Okay, we would want to write it this way. Okay, is simply w plus 7. So now that leaves us with, by the way, again, remember here's the problem. Okay, I added the square root of w plus 2 to this side of the equation. All right, because I know I can, when I square this, I can clean this part up pretty easily, and then I'm going to have to do some additional work to clean this up. That's always the best strategy. So let me just make this clear. I think I didn't, I went a little bit too fast. When you have multiple radicals, put one on the other side of the equation. Typically, that's going to be the easiest strategy to do. Now, you could square this whole thing here, but it's going to create more of a mess. All right, so let's go ahead and continue this now. So here I want to square this side of the equation. Remember, if you square one side of the equation, okay, in algebra, whatever you do to one side, you have to do the same thing equally to the other side. So I'm going to have to figure out with this whole thing, square root of w plus 2 plus 1 squared is equal to. All right, so this is going to require some work. So let's take a look at what that means. Well, it means the square root of w plus 2 plus 1 times itself, which is, of course, the square root of w plus 2 plus 1. So we're going to have to figure this thing out right here. And you need to be thinking of this expression, this product here, as a binomial. In other words, if I said 2x plus 1 times x minus 3, how would you do that? Well, some of you might be thinking of the FOIL method, right? First, outer, inner, last. And that's basically what you're going to be doing here. Okay, so here is our first term. So it's going to be this times this. Okay, let me go ahead and just move this away. So that's our first. This is our outer. This is our inner. And this is our last. Okay, so you're going to treat this as the product of two binomials. And when we do this work, what are we going to get? Well, the square root of w plus 2 times the square root of w plus 2 is what? Well, anything being multiplied by itself, we can write as a square. So that's the square root of w plus 2 squared. And when you square a square root, you're just left with what's inside that square root, w plus 2. Okay? So these two things, the square root of w plus 2 times itself is w plus 2. All right, so now that's our first. Now our outer is this thing times 1. All right, so that's square root of w plus 2. Our inner, okay, we're kind of following that FOIL method, is just going to be 1 times square root of w plus 2. So that's another w plus square root of w plus 2. And then we're left with 1 times 1. That's our last. Okay, so again, as I indicated, decent amount of work here, and we're just kind of midway through this problem. All right, let's go ahead and clean this up now. So what do we have? Well, we have a square root of w plus 2 and another square root of w plus 2. So that gives us two square roots of w plus 2. So we're just combining like terms. There's a 1 in front of this and 1 in front of that. So we add these up. There's two square root of w plus 2's. And then look, I have a w here. And I'm just kind of combining like terms. So I'm going to put that there. And then I have a 2 and I have a 1. So that would be 3. All right, so this whole thing is equal to this expression here. And this is what we have for this part of the problem. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and write that in now. So here, again, we're going to square both sides of the problem. When we squared the square root of w plus 7, we ended up with w plus 7. And then we squared this side of the problem, and we just did all that work, and we ended up with 2 times the square root of w plus 2 plus w plus 3. Okay, so a good amount of work to get to this point, but now let's take a look at what we have. So remember, at the problem when we started off, we had two radicals. We had a radical here, had another radical there. Now we're down to just one radical. So this is very, very typical of these type of problems. Anytime you have more than one radical, you're going to have to put it on the other side of the equation, square both sides, and you're going to end up with having to do the process again because we're down to just one more radical. So let's go ahead and clean this up. So if we look at this, I have a w here and a w here. If I subtract w from both sides of the equation, guess what? The w's go away, right? That's just 0 on both sides. So those go away. And then I need to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. Basically what you want to do is this. I think I'm going a little bit too quick. Let me just slow down here. When you're solving radical equations, what you really want to do is have your radical, your square root on one side and a number on the other side of the equation. That's the typical format, okay? And then you're going to want to square both sides, okay? When you square both sides, that's going to be the key to solving the equation. Again, hopefully you have some experience solving basic radical equations, but if you didn't know that, okay, now you do. Again, this is a little bit more challenging of a problem. So if you're a little bit lost, go check out some more basic problems. I'll give you some suggestions here in a second, but let's follow through here. Okay, so the w's go away, and I'm going to subtract 3 from this side of the equation because this is my radical, and I end up with one number on this side, 4, okay, is equal to 2 times the square root of w plus 2. So this is really, getting really close to getting to the solution, but we want to get that radical isolated. We want to get this part isolated, but we have a 2 in front of it, so that's 2 being multiplied by this. So what can we do to kind of clean this up? Well, we can divide both sides of the equation by 2. So these 2's right here cross cancel, and we're just left with the square root of w plus 2, and then 4 divided by 2 is obviously 2. All right, so now finally, we are ready to square both sides, and this is going to be the key to solving this equation. Are you struggling in math because of confusing lessons? Maybe the teacher's not showing you all the steps you need, or things are happening too fast. Well, there is a better way. So come on over to my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. There you'll find clear step-by-step instruction by me that will definitely make a huge difference in your math success. So make sure to check out all my courses by following the links in the description. All right, so let's go ahead and square both sides. So the square root of w plus 2 squared is w plus 2. And then 2 squared, remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So 2 squared is 4. All right, so we're down to the equation. 4 is equal to w plus 2. So how do we solve 4w? Super easy. All we have to do is subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, and we get w is equal to 2. So a lot of you may have gotten to this point, and you're like saying, I am so awesome. I am, I know I'm an A-plus student in math. Hey, you know what? You probably are, right? This is excellent work if you're able to get down to this point. But if you just gave me this as your answer, as your teacher, I might give you just this, like an 8 out of 10 on a test. With, a lot of you are going to be like this. What are you talking about? I got the right answer. Well, not quite. Okay. So here's the deal, right? Even though W equals 2 is the solution, in mathematics, okay, it's very, very important that you understand this, that when you square both sides of an equation, and there's variables on both sides, okay? Anytime you're doing that, and this is especially the case in radical equations, when you're squaring both sides of the equation or taking an equation to powers where there's variables involved, you can introduce something called extraneous roots. And we did that a couple times here. We squared and then we squared again where there was variables on both one or both sides of the equation. You can end up with extraneous roots. And oftentimes you do have this term extraneous roots means extra roots. So when you get down to this answer, okay, this is the end result of your work, but this may or may not be the actual solution to the original equation. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of times where you go through all the work, you get an answer like this, you plug it into the original equation, and it doesn't work as the solution. That's what we call an extraneous solution, and this is something you really need to understand. So let's go ahead and check W equals 2 to verify if this in fact is the correct solution. So what are we going to do? Well, every time right here we see a W, we're going to plug in 2, and then we're going to check this thing, and I need to make another very important point here as well. All right, so we're going to replace this W with a 2. We're going to replace this W with a 2. So we got 2 plus 7 is the square root of 9. Okay, so 2 plus 7 square root of 9 minus 2 plus 2 is the square root of 4. And we're looking to see, is that going to be equal to 1? So this is very, very, very important, what I'm going to tell you right now. So here you have the square root of 9 equaling to 3. We should all know that, but a lot of you, when it comes to extraneous solutions, you might be saying, oh, the square root of 9 is equal to plus and minus 3. Should I put a negative 3 here or a positive 3? Excellent question. And I can tell you right now, a lot of math textbooks and some teachers don't emphasize this enough. And I probably made this mistake throughout the years as I got more experience teaching mathematics. You always want to use the principal square root. When you're checking for an extraneous solution, use the principal square root, i.e. only the positive version. Only the positive version. That's what we need to when we're taking the square root of a number when we are checking for extraneous solutions. So the square root of 9 will be 3. We won't worry about that negative 3. The square root of 4 will be 2. So now we're down to this, 3 minus 2. Is 3 minus 2 equal to 1? It obviously is. 1 is equal to 1 is a true statement. Therefore, W equals 2. Okay, in mathematics, there's a little crazy symbol that looks like that. There's QED. That's a Latin phrase basically saying, hey, I prove that. I prove this, and you can say, therefore, W is equal to 2. So there you go, all right? But if you have to show this check part, this verification, when you're dealing with radical equations, anytime there's an extraneous solution that's possible, this is part of the solution here, okay? And oftentimes your teacher will give you problems when you plug this in, it will not work, so you'll say no solution if that is the case. But anyways, listen, if you even got down to this W equals 2 part, you're definitely entitled to a nice happy face, and maybe we'll just give you an A, not an A+. I don't want to just hand out, 100% all the time. But as I said, this is a lot of work and there's a lot going on. And again, this is a little bit more of an involved radical equation. What I would suggest is start with things like this. Let's actually kind of fix this thing up. So, we'll start with problems with only one radical, get this down, and then move on to more complicated problems. So if you need additional help with radical equations or anything algebra, let me give you a couple suggestions. One, I have a ton of YouTube videos, and I have more videos on radical equations you can check out. But I would direct you towards like my Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 course in my Math Help program. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.